Big week ahead. So let's talk about our data first. Monday, we don't have much going on. A lot of job numbers coming out this week. Tuesday, Chicago PMI, consumer sentiment. Wednesday, the ADP unemployment report, PMI manufacturing, ISM manufacturing, Big Daddy Powell. We get the numbers released at 2. The presser at 2:30. Huge day, big money to be made there. Not a whole lot going on Thursday. We do have Challenger job cuts report, jobless claims. So we have some more job numbers coming out there. Natural gas report. On Friday, we have the unemployment situation, PMI composite final, ISM services index. Let's take a look at our earnings for this week. A lot going on. Amazon, Apple, SoFi, AMD, Meta, Google, ExxonMobil, UPS, GM, PFE, Cat, Ford, Snap, McDonald's, Spotify, Qualcomm. Got Merck this week, NXPI this week, Lilly, X, T-Mobile, Starbucks, Peloton, PMI, HP. A lot going on this week. A little bit on Monday, as you can see, big, huge day on Tuesday. Got some players on Wednesday, Meta. Thursday, another huge day. Got Amazon, Apple, Google, Ford, Qualcomm, Starbucks. Just a lot going on. So there is definitely a lot of opportunities to make money this week. Let's go straight to the charts. So we have a huge week with data and earnings coming in. Anything can happen this week. We definitely have a bearish divergence we need to look at that we've been watching in the market, and we're going to show that to you in a few charts. The put to call ratio, you can see we are down here in the neutral zone. Which is good. We spent the majority of this year down here in the neutral zone, which last year we spent, I know we're just at the beginning, last year we spent the majority of our time up here in the bearish zone. So that's also a good sign. We have taken the downtrend out. It is, we are going to experience a new trend here. So our oscillators, 169 for the NASDAQ, and you can see the New York Stock Exchange, 155. And so we have plenty of room to move in either direction. We are a little warm here. But when we get to the SPY chart, I want to explain the reason why we're staying right here in the same area that we are instead of going into the super hot zone with these strong trends that we've been getting. The SPX, you can see we closed over that weekly 50. That's a huge level. Hopefully we can remain over it. We won't gap down in the morning. So we got the SPX here. This is our chart for our breadth chart, and this is where our bearish divergences are. You can see right here we're having a histogram divergence, and we got a divergence here in our moving average, and we've been able to call just about every move this year off of this chart alone. And you can see the divergences here. You can see the histogram divergences moving down as price action is moving up, and then you can see the price reversing. Same here. You can see the histograms moving down as price action is moving up, and then we see a pullback. Once again, we're seeing the histogram bars pull back, and this is a custom histogram, by the way. We're seeing the histogram bars pull back as price action is moving up. Now we already know, we're a little extended here in a lot of our charts, so we could use a pullback. Will it be a viable dip? That's the question. Depending on what Powell says, depending on how these earnings go, and of course, we're going to talk about this in the Discord. I do think this market's strong. As of this point, like I say, just natural price action, we do need to pull back. And you can see the bearish divergence here in our moving average as well. And you can see right there, we got a pullback on that one. Same thing's coming up. So will we see the pullback? We know we're going to see the pullback. The question is when. Another big question this week, Big Daddy Powell, will we get the expected 0.25, or will he surprise the market? We know he's not going to like this information that he's been getting on these reports that we've been, picking up. So you can see here rates are dropping. This is TNX. You can see it is pulling back as the market or the bonds are pushing up. The market here is pushing up. So as bonds are pushing up, it's pulling this back. So it's letting us know that rates have been pulling back. Nothing drastic, but rates have been pulling back some. So that's also a good sign. VIX is down. It's not much to see there. Crude still testing this resistance level and reject it again. I was hoping that we could, because Friday we were flagging on the 9. I was hoping we would be able to take that out, but not yet. I always rooting for the energy names. You're coming in here into a W pattern with a higher low, so I was hoping we could take that out Friday, but as of right now we're seeing rejection. Apple last week we called this little cup and handle, got this huge move up. We want to watch the 200 now. Your 200 daily on Apple would be a good place to see some resistance, pull back to the 9, get another setup. We're watching these daily 9s on this move. Would love to see a pullback to these daily 9s. You can see Apple here intraday, nice push up on the 15-minute chart. Gold, you can see gold rounding out here. Gold may, well, you see the MACD. Gold looks like it wants to pull back here. I think a pullback in gold once again will be a viable dip. Since we took this downtrend out and reset up on this flag, gold's been bullish. You can see this is this is a form of breath in this chart. So this chart tells us the percentage of the stocks in the S&P 500 and the New York Stock Exchange that are above their 50 days and above their 200 days. So you can see here for the New York Stock Exchange, 66% is above their 200-day, and 81% of stocks in the New York Stock Exchange is above their 50-day. Once again, here for the S&P, you got 68% above their 200 and only 72% above their 50-day. Still very strong, very, very strong. We know the market's been strong. We know this uptrend's been strong. The market's been in full-blown FOMO mode. This is their advanced decline line, still turning up. You can see the New York Stock Exchange a little stronger than the S&P 500. Still looking good. Mid caps, large caps, mid caps, and small caps. So Abby, we caught this double top here. We had this move down. We were putting a base here on. Our trigger was see what it does here at the 200. We did close below the 200. See where this candle opens up tomorrow. If it gaps up, gaps back over that 200, not in play, we remain below that 200. We're looking for a move lower. The one thing is we do know we're coming into some support here. AMD got this little cup here, not quite back to resistance. If we do push up, I would say watch your 200-day, so 79.69 would be some resistance there if we can continue to push up here. AMD's been a little weaker than a lot of the rest of the names in the market. It's still been tradable. And you can see AMD here on the weekly chart. We have put in a higher low. We need to continue to push up and put in a higher high right here. That's very important on the weekly chart. Affirm has been super strong. We got this flag that flagged in here. We've called this out in the trading room, by the way. Very strong push on Friday. You can see the flag kind of chopped around on the 9 the next day. On Thursday, big push on Friday. You can see Affirm here intraday, big push. It pulled back to your 15-minute 9, big push, flagged in again. A lot of places there to take an entry right off your 15-minute chart. Amazon, big push up here as well. Amazon weekly, look how it's respecting the 9. Closed above the weekly 20, but we do have some previous resistance here. You can see this was a big spot. We come down here, we put that bottom in and was able to push up. Now, we lost it here. Now we are retesting that same bottom there. So Amazon's at another big spot of resistance. This could be a nice place to pull back for a lot of these stocks. We see the pullback coming into divergence. We also know that we have Powell. He could come in trying to crush the market. Major earnings this week. One of the biggest weeks of the year right here. January, beginning of the year, getting ready to get one of the biggest weeks already. AMC has lost a daily 9. If it does pull back, watch your daily 20. If it takes that 9 out, could get interesting. You can see Friday's intraday move, big push up there, but after hours, you can see some selling pressure on it after hours. AMD, nice move up Friday as well. AEO, we put this one back on the list. We had this rounded bottom down here, or a cup. We gapped up. I believe it was an earnings play or something that we gapped up on. It's been consolidating up here. You got this little ascending triangle, but it's coming right back into previous resistance. Just wanted to throw this chart out there. Don't think it's got the greatest options liquidity, but this could be a nice trader for somebody looking to buy some shares. And I did also post a large amount of smaller cap stocks into the watch list in the Discord on purpose. There's definitely a lot of names that I posted that don't really have options liquidity, but could make great traders for shares. Remember, we don't just trade options. We do trade options, but there are other assets and other strategies in the market that we do trade as well. AXP, we talked about the earnings on Friday. Look at this move on volume, 3 times daily average volume on this move up. Definitely one to keep an eye on. When you gap up like that on volume, this is worth keeping an eye on. We need to keep an eye on MasterCard and Visa as well. Amazon. So this is Amazon daily. We talked about this little flag last week. Thursday we pushed up into previous resistance. So now we are at a level we need to clear. I like this chart. We're not extended here at all. We just we pushed up, put in this little base, and then broke back out. So definitely one to keep an eye on there. We got to clear that resistance level we just pointed out. So last week we talked about Apple being back to the bottom of this descending triangle. We gapped over it. We'd always talk about this when we close right into a level. It's nice if we just open up and gap right over it. So we gapped up and ripped last week. Not surprised there. ARK, another big move, just on fire. We've been talking about a lot of Kathy's names have been ripping. Look at Friday's move in this. Just a lot of FOMO going on. Some of that had something to do with the Lucid. There was just a moment of FOMO on a lot of the beaten down names on Friday. They were coming after everything when Lucid was going on. We've seen Beyond Meat popping off. We also seen FSR popping off. We've seen a lot of the smaller beaten down names, not even just EVs, just seen a lot of stuff popping off. You can see Boeing. Money is still flowing into Boeing here. They did not have the best earnings, but their guidance looked good. They did have some good parts to their earnings, even though their earnings were well, let's just be honest, they were not great. But we can still see big money coming into this name since earnings. And that's just the CFM. BABA, we had this inverted head and shoulders here. Nice push up out of this. We come back, retested this shoulder, and this thing is ripped up. Kind of basing here. Looks like it may be trying to roll over. May need a pullback. See how we act at the 20 if we do pull back. Very gappy name. Bitcoin, last 3 weeks we've been ripping. It's been on our radar. We're coming into this weekly 50 or weekly 200, and the weekly 50 is coming down on top of that. We got a good MACD here, a good MACD, good decent RSI, and a good PPO as well. Bitcoin daily, you can see the big push. We were watching this flag, great big push up, flagging again, and another push up. Bitcoin's hot over the weekend. And you can see Boeing's been trading fairly flat here the last 2 days, and we can see it the way it's flagging into our moving averages there. So we need to watch that one for a move off the moving averages. And this is BRCC. This was put on a list for our members. This one that he watched. This is one that we caught some FOMO on last year around the April. Basically, the Ukraine war started, so we had this big move up. This is just one of the names that we were able to catch some FOMO on. It's been putting in a base here for a while. So we would be wanting to see some, obviously a move up. You can see the volume coming in on Friday. But before we want to enter this stock, we want to see some life in this MACD. We want to see some relative strength. We want to see some volume, relative strength, and momentum. Right now, we are not seeing that. It's worth keeping an eye on, but as of now, we're not seeing what we need to see. BNY, we got this contraction zone. We started the expansion phase. We've come right back and tested our center line of our zone, of our contraction zone. See if we can move up off of this, or if we break this line, we're looking for a move down. This one's right on the radar. Also, another earnings play this week. So we definitely need to continue to keep an eye on it. If we can get up above our moving averages, we'll look to go bullish. If we break this right here, if we break the center line, we're looking for a move down. Charge point, another nice looking chart here. Nice push up, consolidating right now, holding above the 9. Draw your line across the top. We're looking to be above that line. Draw your little flag out. You got a little flag there. Draw that out. Above or below. Plan A, Plan B. Looking for preferably a break above in this market, even though I do know we have a pullback coming. We can see it in the divergences. We're a little extended. Not saying it's going to happen Monday, but we will probably see the pullback by the end of this week. So not going to go full-blown bullish here. Even though I'm bullish on the market, I'm not going to go full-blown bullish this week. I'm going to continue to play the action because we are getting a little extended in a lot of these names. But when you look at Chewy here, Chewy's not extended. Chewy had this bullish engulfing candle pushed up, and we haven't had much action after that. And like I say, I do think this will be a viable dip this time. Chewy, you can see the intraday action is not that great. Kind of symmetrical triangle-ish there. Started chopping. City, still one of the better charts. I mean, I don't know what to say. We had this cup, put in this little teeny handle, which was just nothing but a pullback to the 9. You know, come up here basing. It's waiting for this 9 to catch up. I think City's got more in the tank. Coin, talked about this one last week, pushed up, put in this little base, based right over to the 9, flag right over, then boom, big move on Friday. We had those names on the radar as well. XLP continuing to put in a series of lower highs here. XLP in a downtrend, consumer staples in a downtrend. Chevron, they did a huge buyback, $75 billion buyback. The earnings were missed, but they did increase their dividend as well. Friday, you can see the down candle off from the earnings. Earnings were not great. You can see the move down here as well on the intraday chart. DraftKings has took this 200 out. We talked about this. We take this 200 out to start to expect a price acceleration, a move up. Now we've closed over these previous candles on Friday, depending on see how we open up tomorrow. See where that morning candle, your opening candle opens up. If we're above that, we're looking for a move up. We might start seeing some FOMO in that name. Lilly, we had this head and shoulders pattern. You can see the series of lower highs here, taking out that crazy day with the New York Stock Exchange. I would like to get that candle off the chart, to be honest, but you can see the series of lower highs being put in here, not counting that candle. XLE grinding up, coming right into all-time highs there. Ford's still trading in the symmetrical triangle. You could get a downward sloping inverted head and shoulders. I'm calling this out because this was posted in Discord and I haven't had time to make comments on the members charts. So, but yes, you could get an inverted head and shoulders. I like the bigger pattern. I like to find the smaller patterns. Bigger patterns take more time to break out. We know we got a symmetrical triangle on our weekly. We've been watching that. We're back to the top of it. So this is a symmetrical triangle. It's not the greatest. The symmetry on it's not the greatest. But I do like this little inverted head and shoulders as well. I do look for smaller patterns like this because your smaller patterns you get quicker breakouts out of. Your bigger patterns you can get bigger moves out of, but it takes longer for them to set up. So I like finding the bigger patterns with the smaller patterns inside of it. Just kind of double bullish to me if it takes the level out. So you can see First Solar here. First Solar, we had this head and shoulders pattern. I come right out and said I would not want to be the first one to short it. This thing ripped up, put in a higher high, pulled down, kind of put in a little base here, broke back above the 9. This right here is your level of resistance. Probably going to see a move up here to put in a higher high. MACD's crossing there again. Google, just a nice gap up out of that contraction zone. It started the expansion, come up here, crazy little ride back and forth, testing this, coming into earnings this week. What will earnings be? This will be one of the bigger players. So very big night next Thursday night. Halliburton just kind of chopping around here. The Qs, nice push up, getting a little extended, but we did clear this previous level of resistance. Had this little cup and handle here last week. Nice breakout, flag right back into your daily 9. We talk about this all the time, guys. Keep an eye to see where your daily 9 is. That's easy money. Big push up. Respect the 9. Qs intraday, nice push there. Qs weekly, big move up. You got to watch your weekly 50 here. We have not cleared that like we have the S&P 500. TLT, bonds, we come up here and we tested this 200 last week. We have not had the strength to get back to the 200. We're actually below the 9 here. Still got some decent money coming in. IWM, nice push up there as well. That's on the weekly. So we've took the trend out. You can see IWM here. Got this downtrend here, got another downtrend here, got resistance here. We closed above those. Look at that. The birth of a new trend now. We're seeing it everywhere. I'm not. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, the start of a bull market, the start of a bull market." To me, it's just the start of a new trend. We will see. My opinion on what this market's going to do this year is in writing in the Discord, so I can't deny my opinion. I mean, it is in writing. You can see the nice push up on the 15, the nice pullback on the 15, and then we ripped. And this has a lot to do. I mentioned our oscillators are not going overheated. It's because we're getting this big cooling off action after the initial push, and then we're ripping again. But this is keeping them oscillators cool. Uh, these are day traders' dream moves. I mean, Friday was another awesome day. Thursday was an awesome day. Just a big week last week. Huge week. The market's been opening up, pushing, pulling back. When you start to recognize those trends, of course, you play the action. Don't just bet on because what it traded the day before. But when you start putting in trends like that and you're starting to see the same stuff every day, you kind of get an idea what to expect. Please play the action every day. LVS was not a great earnings, but they had some good stuff in their report. Moved up out of that flag that we were watching there. Macy's has pushed up above the previous level of resistance into another previous level of resistance, holding the 9 here. We're flagged back into the 9, seeing a change in character in that 9. So see where that goes. Mora, these. So we talked about March 17th, 15 calls. I even posted it in the Facebook. So there's still a lot of calls open there. They're still riding those. We did dip below the 9. We can see the Bitcoin coin strong over the weekend. Let's see where Mara wants to go. Merck rounded top here. Not surprised. We were looking for pullbacks in these names. We said that. Easy money there. We knew money was flowing out of names like this, going into tech because of the FOMO going on, going into the small caps, mid caps, going into the tech, a lot of the beaten down names coming out of the stronger safety names. Meta, nice push up. We're right into your daily 200 here. So once again, this would be a great place to pull back some. Look for another setup and push. Until we pull back, until we see the signs to pulling back, we're still bullish on this market. And like I say, as of right now, with the mindset this market has, I do believe if we pull back, I do believe that will be a buyable dip. I shouldn't say buyable dip because I really don't like that term. A buyable pullback with proper, play the action, use proper entries, wait for proper signals before you just buy that dip. Don't wait for it to pull back and just be like, well, I'm going to buy here. Wait for proper signals to go in. We talk about those signals every day in the Discord, so you guys know how to do this. Meta 15-minute chart, nice push up there on Friday. That's another one that was on the radar. MU, we've talked about this. There's been a lot of FOMO coming into this name. Look how far we are extended. Up here, looks like we cleared some previous resistance on Friday. It's definitely one to keep an eye on this week. We are extended there. Microsoft, we got this little inverted head and shoulders down here. Nice push up right into a previous level of resistance here. That definitely needs to be cleared. Microsoft intraday was pretty flat on Friday. You can see their weekly chart series of higher lows here. Will we push and put in a higher high? That's the question. Looking at a little symmetrical triangle. If we were ready to draw another downtrend through here and draw a downtrend through there, you got a symmetrical triangle. We need to take that out and continue to push up to put in a higher high if this market's going to push. Moderna's just kind of hanging out now. I should have pulled this one off, to be honest, and just kept an eye on it. You can see the intraday action on Moderna in a clear downtrend here. At the very end of the day, the last low was unable, started to get symmetrical triangles here at the end of the day. But, you can see the lower highs, clear downtrend throughout the trading day. MU, nice push up. You can see higher highs there, clear uptrend on your 15. NASDAQ cleared the 200. Great move right into a previous level of resistance that we need to take out. Strong move there on NASDAQ's daily chart. Netflix, just been a beast. It looks like it wants to flag. Watch this thing at the daily 9. If it'll pull back to that 9, watch it there. It's another one I'd like to see pull back a little bit. NVIDIA, this thing's just been a beast. We've talked about it. We talked about this. We talked about that candle pattern. Once again, we had a rising 2 here we talked about last week. Got a nice move off of that last week. So not surprised we were bullish on the video last week. Nice push up. You can see the intraday flagged into your 15-minute 50, flagged into your 15-minute 50 on this move up. This time we were able to take out this level, which has allowed us to start moving here, to start getting a trend. The video weekly, huge push there. You can see we're getting a little extended out on the weekly. Palantir, another chart turning bullish, pushing up. Next level of resistance is coming up in here. You can see we chopped in this area for a while. So clearing this level up here may be a chore. That may be a good spot to pull back, depending on how we look when we get there. Peloton's just got this V bottom, kind of chopped around, put in a little handle, is moving up. Nice move there as well. We were bullish on that one last week. Plug wants to roll over here. You can draw your rounded top, wants to roll over. If we lose this 50, looking for a move down. Your MACD's changing character there as well. Not interested until it loses that 50. If it regains the 9 with this FOMO in this market, then hey, go long. It's not a hard decision. Q's monthly chart. This candle is not closed, but look, strong move off from your monthly 50, back above your monthly 9. Can we close above that monthly 9? Kind of giving us a set of pipe bottoms down here. We don't want to get too happy over that chart until we close. It's a monthly candle. Roblex, nice push up, put in this base here. Not the prettiest action in there. Draw a line above those candles. I'm bullish back above those candles. Roku, another strong chart. You got this little V bottom down here. We've seen pretty much the same setup, moved up, put in a nice little base at the 9, cleared the previous resistance level, pushed up into resistance, pull back, come back, retested, pull back, cleared it. Another one worth keeping an eye on. SPX, you can see this inverted head and shoulders right here. We've talked about this forming. We talked about this about two weeks ago or so, maybe a little longer, that a lot of people were talking about this inverted head and shoulders, and it pretty much has formed. If you were to draw a line through here, it's not textbook. Either way, the chart's bullish. It doesn't really matter what you call it or what you see. The chart is bullish. That's what matters. Shop, you got this cup and handle here, big push up, nice move. So I posted a chart of XLK and the SPY. You can kind of see a lot of the same action there. The diamond's trading a little symmetrical triangle-ish now. We ended up pushing up here on the diamond. It was the first one to start the new trend. A lot of people were screaming bull market. I'm not going to scream bull market, but I am going to say we started a new trend. That's clear. So putting in a base, we pushed up above the trend line. This thing's been putting in a base, just building a steam up, getting ready for the next move. Hopefully it will be up. You can see SPY here. SPY, once again, we took out this descending broadening channel, closed over this descending broadening channel on the weekly. Strong move back above the 50 weekly there. Strong move on the SPY. You can see the downtrend here. After the 5th test of this downtrend, we were able to take it out. We've had 5 consecutive days closing over that downtrend. 3, and then we started to get the follow through. I kept saying we needed follow through. Good MACD there. You can see the SPY daily here. Like I say, it's a lot of lines on this chart. So if I was to take all these lines off the chart that I posted in the Discord, you can basically see a small cup and handle here on the SPY too. So there's several different ways that you can look at a chart. You can look at inverted head and shoulders here, the big cup and handle. Either way. So the point I wanted to prove is you can see different patterns on a chart and still get the same results. Right now, the SPY is bullish. It's not overly extended. Some of the assets in the market are overly extended. The SPY is not. And you can see intraday here. What a move on Friday. Ripped up, ripped down. That was provided opportunities up, provided opportunities back. And then we got a strong trend up, provided more opportunities. The way that we trade, it's just straight money. That's just print, 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 print. You can see all 3 trends, short-term, long-term, medium-term, are bullish. This market's full FOMO right now. Square, this chart was bullish last week. This is one of the ones we had on the radar. Good job, Alan, for spotting it out yourself. Nice push up here. What I liked about this, you got a morning star right here with the right candle closing above the left candle. We talk about that. That's my preferred morning star pattern. Nice move out of it. We talked about that last week. Starbucks, nice push here. Starbucks has got a strong weekly chart as well. Very nice push up. So we broke out this little rounded bottom here, pushed up, come back, kind of retested, pushing up. Starbucks is another one reporting this week. A lot of names reporting this week. You can see XLK, we closed above this downtrend. Another chart, like I say, you can see rounded or a cup here coming in, forming a handle. Draw your line across the top. There's your neckline. We posted that chart in the Discord. Like to give multiple looks at charts when possible. Tesla, we talked about Tesla. The only thing we were worried about last week was this weekly 9. We took that out with earnings. Great earnings here. I know a lot of people got burnt short on this one, just betting against Mr. Musk. You know, we tell you to stop betting against Mr. Musk. The man doesn't fail. Either way, chart mooned here. Had hammer candle down here at support. We also talked about that. Took that weekly 9. Huge move. Getting a little extended here, though. You can see Tesla. We've talked about this. We've been bullish on this chart since we took this 9 and 20 back. Big move, moving on, expanding volume. Chart's really bullish. What will we do tomorrow? That's the question. They come in FO mode on it. We're getting a little extended, huge move on Friday. You can see it ripped up. Even at the end of the day, I went in with 1,000 shares off of this 15-minute chart. You see this hammer candle right here? That's where I went in on Friday. We did take a small loss there because the Lucid everything that was going on with Lucid, I ended up cutting this at a small loss. Then we with 1,000 shares, and I come back, got my money back, and made some on contracts. Just got distracted with Lucid. I ended up cutting this trade red until I got everybody, with their profits locked in on Lucid. Then we come back in and got the money back on Tesla. GDX, you can see here, respecting the 9, we did pull back here on the 9. We could see a pullback in gold. We looked at the gold chart. You can see the same thing here with GDX. You can see the MACD rolling over. So, we're expecting a pullback coming up in our gold names. We do think it's going to be a viable pullback. XLF, you can see the cup and handle here, very strong. Banks are looking pretty good. XLF's looking decent. I still like Citi, the best looking chart, in my opinion. You can see ExxonMobil here, pushed up last week to an all-new high. That was on the radar. All right, well, that concludes our video for today. I hope you find this helpful. Please remember, discipline is the key to your success. That is the secret in trading. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you in the trading room tomorrow. Be ready for a big week. Let's get in here and let's make some money.